If you're a Java developer, chances are you already stumbled upon an interrupted exception. But what is this exception? Let's try to understand it in this video. So I have here what I'm calling a poor man's Thread.sleep implementation. We give it a duration, it marks the start time and computes the finish time based on the duration. In a while true loop, it keeps checking if the current time is after the finish time. And if it is, we can stop sleeping. If it is not, then we print the current time every second. And we signal thread that we are in a busy loop. In the main method, we start a thread named sleep, which runs the sleep task. In the sleep task, we print the message begin. We sleep for 2 whole hours, and after we have slept, we print the end message. Let's run it. As expected, it printed begin at the start, and it's printing the time every second. It will take a long time to finish, so let's forcefully stop it. We're implementing a Thread.sleep clone or a poor man's version, but I want you to think it as any task which one may take a very long time to finish, and two that you may want to cancel or stop it. For example, in IDE, you want to search for some word in all of the files. You may want to give the user the opportunity to cancel this task. And the question is, how can we do it? Well, the thread class has this method named interrupt, which interrupts the thread. Let's try to use the interrupt method. After the main thread slept for 1 second, we try to interrupt our sleeping thread. Let's run it. So the sleep task printed the begin message, and it's still running. So the interrupt method had no effect in our program. So the first thing to know is that a thread, once started, will only stop after it returns from the run method. In other words, a thread will never ever stop until it returns from the run method. Strictly speaking, there are other ways for a thread to stop. For example, the thread may be a daemon thread, or the thread itself invokes the system halt, system exit methods. If we want the thread to respond to the interrupt method, we have to do it inside its run method. So here's our poor man's sleep method again, and let's make it respond to the interrupt method. So we're saying that if the current thread is interrupted, then print the got interrupted message and breaks out from the while true loop. Right, let's run it. Our thread now correctly responds to the interrupt method. Right, let's do a very small refactoring here. Instead of printing the message here, we'll throw a interrupted exception. We must catch it here. Say got interrupted. The main method also calls the sleep method. Right, let's run it. And it basically behaves the same. Some methods, like our poor man's sleep implementation, are what we call blocking methods. In other words, they will block the thread which is calling the method, and it will block the calling thread until it returns. Of course, that by these definitions, all methods are blocking. But when we say specifically that a method is blocking, is that it may block indefinitely. So in this case, it might be useful for the method to throw interrupted exception. And what is that? Let's get back to our search functionality in IDE. Suppose that this loop represents the loop over the files which the IDE is looking for the word. If the code doing the search does not respond to the interrupt flag, as we saw in the example, calling interrupt in the thread will have no effect. In other words, we won't be able to cancel the search. Cool, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new and interesting. And that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.